Says this meeting is live, although on YouTube's always behind. I never trust it, even though I should. At 7:45 in the East, 4:45 here in Las Vegas, and it is the Springsteen Saturday Night Live stream, and we've got a good one for you tonight. It is it is hey Maddie, thanks for coming. Tonight is help me, Maddie. Newark, New Jersey, right? Newark, New Jersey, from the river, the first leg of the River 2016 tour with the full album. And it's a spectacular, gorgeous, comes from a Blu-ray from our friend from Germany, dubbing guy, which means the picture is going to be gorgeous, and maybe some of the decisions might be different from what I would have chosen, but he does fantastic work. Might be a little out of sync. So we'll be watching that tonight, and I'll be with you for most of the show. And at about 11 p.m., maybe 5, 10 to 11 Eastern, I gotta leave to go watch the live webcast of night 3 of Fish at the Sphere. And we'll talk about, you want to talk about Newark? It's the whole River album, like all those shows were, and then greatest hits after the 2016. Fantastic. It opens with uh Meet Me in the City, and then it plays the whole River album. That's the first 2 hours right there. I'll be with you for all that. Fish. I went Thursday night. I waited in the drop line. I was about 40th in line, and I really felt like I had a good shot. There was a drop. They sold 20 tickets to 10 people, two tickets per person, uh, and never got to me. And I'm still in pain from standing in line. I won't buy a GA because I can't stand in the pit for 4 hours, but I stood in line at the drop line for 4 hours and I got nothing. And yesterday I stayed home and watched the webcast. I've watched both webcasts, and tonight I am going to be watching the webcast, although I keep obsessively refreshing Ticketmaster. uh I was down there Thursday night. I saw that Fish at the Sphere Globe looking right there, but I saw both shows on the webcast. Hey Joe, good to see you. Steve, who goes by Tony, thanks for coming. We got about 12 minutes. I'm gonna be with you for most of the show tonight. I gotta go throw a pizza in the oven for me, Maddie, not for I don't suddenly work in a bar or restaurant. I'm making my own homemade pizza. Uh Save me $35 for delivery. I got to throw pizza in the oven, but I'll be here for most of the show, and I'm taking off at about 11 Eastern to watch the third night of the webcast of Fish. The webcasts have been cool. I'm disappointed in the Sphere personally. It's cool as shit. It's big, but it's all these art. It's all these computer graphics. I thought it was going to be the band on the enormous screen. I thought, and U2 did a little band stuff, and Fish did a very little band on the screen. And I found out why they kind of obscure it when the band's on the screen. And it's because they can't sync it because it takes too long for the video to get from the camera to the LED display, and it's all out of sync. And so when they show the band, they kind of obscure it, they kind of hide it. You have to watch real close to see it's out of sync, and they do very little of it, which to me is a big disappointment because that's what I want to see. If I'm in the last row, I want to see them bridge that gap with this enormous screen. When you go to a stadium or even an arena and you're all the way on the other side, there's a screen, and that helps you see their face, it helps you see the guitar, but it's still very far away. Even no matter how big it is, it's still small, and it still feels like you're very separated. But this, I was at the Sphere in the very last row. This screen makes you feel like you're right there, the stage was this big from the last row. You couldn't see Bono, but when they showed him on the screen, it was like you were right there, but they show them so little. And that's why, because the sound gets to you before they can get the video up on the screen. And that I think is a disaster because that's what I want to see, not Windows 95 screensavers. Let's see. You would rather eat my pizza. I don't, when I order, I get one topping. I go cheap. No, man, when I make a pizza at home, it is, I just started recently getting into making deep dish at home because I couldn't put enough toppings on my round pizza. It was too much. The crust couldn't hold it. I was putting so much shit on my pizza. So now I'm making deep dish, like almost. I got to learn how to make Detroit style and Chicago style. Mine is kind of more like Pizza Hut. It's way better than Pizza Hut, but it's kind of that style. It's like a fried crust when I do a deep dish, but it's got a lot more room. Oh, you know what I got? I got steak, fajita. I got fajita, preseason fajita steak from Walmart by accident. I get my Walmart groceries delivered, and I never would have ordered that, but it was a $14 package of steak pre-seasoned in fajita seasoning, and I'm putting that on my pizza tonight. Windows 95 screensaver. I thought that was a good one too. Oh, so I'm in this line for 4 hours hoping to get a drop, and I never went back to try again. Uh, there's 1,000 people out there holding up their finger. I need a ticket. I need a ticket. And there's no tickets to be had. And literally 1,000 people walking around with their finger up. So we're standing in this drop line, hoping maybe they'll release some face value tickets, which they did. Not enough, but they did release some. And this guy walks by with his finger up. And I said, "Hey, you need a ticket?" And he just lit up. He turned to me and he went, "Yeah." And I was like, "The fuck? I have a ticket." And everybody in the line laughed. And he just looked so sad. And for 2 days, I've been laughing at that guy. "Hey, you need a ticket?" "Oh, a ticket, idiot." All right. Anyway, so that's it. We got about 8 minutes, and I'm gonna watch the Fish webcast unless by some miracle right now I refresh Ticketmaster, and oh, that's Sunday night. No tickets for Sunday night. See if maybe a miracle. Suddenly there are tickets for no, there's not. I'll be here. I'll be watching it. I'll be watching it at home. But you know what? Yeah, somebody said that was really cruel. I was like, he'll get over it. He doesn't have a ticket. None of us have a ticket. None of us have a ticket. I should get a sign. You see, more harmonicas went out per sign. Begging for harmonicas with signs, man. I don't know. I don't know how people, I was thinking about how many people, the more signs there are, the more people feel entitled that they should get to bring a sign. But it's still a very small amount there's like 2,000 people in the pit, and there's maybe 200 signs. I don't even think there's 200 signs. There's probably like 80 or 90. Let's call it 100 signs. 5% of the pit is holding up a sign. That means 95% of people, they all have a song they want to hear. They all want a harmonica. They want to pick. They want Bruce's attention, but none of them would beg for it. And that's and I've also been taking a lot of shit lately for daring to point it out that I'm a bad person for daring to point out their shit behavior. Because they're so entitled. We are entitled to block your view with our sign. We are entitled to take Bruce out of the show and direct him at us because, we have all the records in alphabetical order on our record shelf. People. The worst part about rock and roll is the fans. Have you noticed? Anyway, we got about 6 minutes. This is a great show. Those same people who bring a sign, complain about the guy who's like quietly filming with his phone or quietly filming with a camera. They'll go get a security guy and bust the guy who's hiding his camera and not blocking anyone's view with his camera. Those are the same people that bring a sign, "Bruce, give me your underwear. I want your pants. Can I have your pants?" Hey, my sister's going tomorrow night. GW's already there. Oh, I talked about this with Tom. It's going to be on the next podcast. We taped it this morning. GW's in Columbus, and he's got another fucking sign. He spray painted another bed sheet, and this time it's like, I should have brought it. I should have brought it so you could see it. It'll be on the podcast. Uh, he's this time he went a little bit further. He got a little bit more creative with the sign now that he's gotten it on stage. And it's multicolored, and he did the writing with a stencil. It requests multiple songs, and it's got Steve on there. It's insanity, man. I can't believe he's part of our show. Anyway, I do not endorse GW bringing bed sheets to the show and getting on stage. And I would love him to play any one of the songs. I think he had Loose Ends on there, and Cynthia, and Fade Away, were the choices. Please take your choice. Like Bruce has to get a bed sheet from GW to decide what to play. It's not up to him already. Anyway, well, look for that sign in Columbus. I don't know where he's sitting. But my sister is sitting in the front row of the upper section, halfway back from the stage. They're not bad seats, especially for what she paid for them compared to what everything is going for. She got them 2 days ago, resale on Ticketmaster, and the two right next to her too were also available for resale for about double what she paid. And I think those are still there, available for double what she paid. But she did pretty well, I think. We were looking at tickets. I was like, man, you're not getting in the door for less than 300. And it's like, you're going to probably be sitting behind the stage for 300. And then we found these seats, front row of the upper. They're not right by the stage, but they're only two sections back. I think it's going to be a great view of the whole thing. And she got it for 300. So she's headed out tomorrow morning. It's like a 3 hour, maybe a 3.5 hour ride from Detroit down to Columbus, and she'll be at the show tomorrow. We got 3 minutes. I will not be there after 11 p.m., but for the next 3 hours, I will